Okay, every day there's something a little bit new. Now this is a reasonably nice looking ic551. This was unfortunately the 10 watt model. Probably looks better on 110. And I'm listening over here onto the Candos net, and Mr. MRE is running that today, doing a great job. But I thought I'd just, while it was waiting for my over, just show you that's quite a nice little radio. The front panel on it's surprisingly good for being an ex-Department of Communications radio. Sometimes they did get bashed up a bit. It's got a few scratches and bits on it over the cases, and I'm not quite sure what we'll do about those yet. Got to really think those through a bit, because sometimes you just can't dagger brush them in. You've got to actually really get stuck into doing a full, rundown of it, and with some paper and. But these were the 10 watt models. 1, 2, hello. Well, that's 10 watts on the peak there. Sorry about the noise. I just realised that the 7300 sitting up there, and that was the the noise coming through. But yeah, look, nice piece of equipment in the fact that they're not making any more of them, and often this is one of the things that I sort of tell people. A couple of things to sort out, but I mean, look, we've got just some mic cords that are just giving us a bit of trouble. Although actually that's looking pretty good. It's looking much better than before. Before it was cutting in and out. I reckon I know what it was. I reckon the Vox was turned on. I think we'll give the mic a full 10 out of 10 then, based on that. Microphone looking very clean, and as you can see, we're still running 43,000 hotspots and bits and pieces over here, so don't mind all that. And receives quite well. If I was just to put a carrier, which I would do by coming over to here, and it's the antenna is sufficiently away, that's for sure. What is a bit of a problem is me having to manhandle this. Okay. Oh yes. All right. Well, that's just a FM carrier, AM carrier. Sorry, coming off the 7300, but we'll pop that back to sideband. Yeah, I'll get it on the analyzer, and we'll have a look at just what it can do as far as its receiver. They were known for being a reasonably hot receiver, actually. So we'll certainly see. All knobs to the right here, so yeah. When you're dealing with 10 watts, all knobs to the right is probably not a bad idea. Trying to get as much as you can out of it. But many thanks to Pete, vk7 Royal Navy. It's a nice condition radio, and we'll find the match up paints and bits to try and clean up a couple of little bits, but the reality is, and this is probably just something to remind people of when they're buying, older radios, this would be 25 years old, is that whilst I've got some gear here that is absolutely perfect, you've got to remember that, they've taken a bit of a beating over the years sometimes, and when you get a mark like that there, which by the way, that's not a hard mark to fix, that one we can colour match. I actually have got the colour for that. It's more some of the casing ones that have got me a bit worried that we may have to do a full rub back on. But if we do, we do, because that's the fun of the hobby. And my good friend Rob, vk2rn, him and I sit there discussing colours quite a bit of late. And we'll probably do an LED in here. I think that'll, maybe a blue LED or something, just to brighten that up a bit in there. Should look nice. But as you can see, they're a nice radio. Being 10 watts, they run off 240 volts. A lot of people used to run them into 100 watt amps. We'd probably run it into probably a 50 to 60 watt amp, and then you could then run that over into the icom over there to get you 400 watts, sort of pretty easily. So yeah, that's just a bit different. I've got just about all the Kenwood TS range of 2 metre, 70 centimetre, and 6 metre of this era. So of course what Pete's caused me to do is to now go chasing all the other bloody ones, the 251 and the 451, and anyway, if anyone can find them, Pete can. So you never know. Down in Tassie there, he definitely has some good contacts at times. And Pete, if you remember, was the supplier of the, you can't really see at the moment, but over there is an FT101ZD that hasn't got a mark on it anywhere. And I'm so proud to own that. Pete was very generous in letting me take that. Please excuse the mess with airbags. We've been shipping stuff and getting rid of bits and pieces. So, by the way, that was shipping, SHIPPING. Yeah, we're just running a few of these radios up at the moment, and the next one to go a total run up will be the 901 series with the RIDI decoder and the speakers and all the bits and pieces. So, which reminds me, I've got to send a mate of mine a copy of a speaker too. Yeah, so we'll get those sort of hammered away. Okay, so that is the ic551, and if you've never seen one before, you have now, and we'll get up on 6. We'll give it a good hit. I've pretty much left the 7300 for 6 meters, but what the heck, you know, you got to play a bit of nostalgia every now and again. So anyway, bit of fun. 73s from VK3 Charlie Mike, and until the next box arrives, which is probably behind me, unfortunately, I won't bother even trying to open that one just yet. And if you're watching, Joseph, thank you very much. You did something extraordinarily nice today. I received it today. And it's a book that I think I'll gain a lot of pleasure from in reading, and after spending so much time in Afghanistan and Iraq and a few different places. But the book, and this is what amateurs do for amateurs. You know, it's really, it's really something that I think, I'll take the time out on the porch to read. So thank you very much, Joseph. That really is much appreciated. And it's a boomerang. As soon as I'm finished reading it, I shall get that back to you. But I do appreciate your thoughts and sentiments for sure. Okay, 73s from VK3 Charlie Mike. And just for the last little bit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 1, 2, there you go. Right, 73s, we're off and gone, and that'll be it. Cheers.